Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this is day 2 of farming Dragon with 10,000 energy. So over the course of 2 days, I'm going to pump 20,000 energy into farming hard stage 10. What I want to do in this video is actually a bit of a gear cleanse around the stuff that I get. But I'm going to show you, like, I've been very aggressive in terms of my filters. Obviously, for the average player, you're not going to be this aggressive. But for me as a late game player, these sets don't really make a lot of sense anymore. In fact, Dragon becomes one of the worst places to farm in the game. You could argue that you potentially should leave accuracy gear on, but perception gear is just way better for late game stuff. Lifesteal I literally don't use on a single champion anymore. But if you're an earlier game player, Lifesteal is one of the most important sets in the game. Toxic set, you could definitely argue there's situational stuff where you want better toxic gear. Frost gear, never use. Dazed gear, never use. Avenging gear, never use. Stalwart gear, again, is actually a set that I use a reasonable amount, but I do have great Stalwart gear as well. So probably actually should leave that one on. In terms of what I'm doing though, I'm literally only keeping on 6-star gear, epic and above in the speed runs, okay? For most players, you would be clicking 5-star as well, and you would be including rare, because 6-star rare can still give you some really good speed pieces. But for my level of account, with my level of tolerance for wanting to sift through gear, this is my selection. Super aggressive in terms of my filters. And then basically, I'm letting that bad boy run for the full duration of the 20,000 energy. And then at the end of that, we're going to do a gear cleanse and kind of talk about what do I really look for in speed gear. That's pretty much all it is. And you know, as I say, speed gear, it's not the be-all and end-all that it used to be. Being the fastest in the arena, for example, is not the only thing that you look for nowadays, but certainly it's still important. But yeah, ultimately, we're going to want to get the job done and try and find some new juicy gear for the account. So I'm going to let it run through, and then I'll bring you back in when we're on the other end. Right then, here we go. 2 days in, 20,000 energy. I've done 10,000 energy each day. Interestingly, is the pack that I bought still around? No, I don't think it is. I bought one pack of energy and stuff, right? Which was energy, and it was energy refills. It cost me £70. Okay, so that plus gems, plus some energy stuff I already had in my inbox, was how I got to 20,000 energy in 2 days. And this here is what I could have done, like an alternative route to try and get good speed gear. And I would say that when you get to my level of account and you're looking for really specific high-level speed rolls, it's actually probably better value. A lot of Krakens or whales nowadays won't even do like the dungeon farming at all. They will buy these packs. I'm not saying you should do it, by the way. I'm just saying like it's an alternative if you're spending a load on energy. The longer you've played the game for, the less value you will get from just doing dungeon running. But when there is a triple speed event going on, or a triple savage, or triple anything that is decent, I think it probably swings back towards you should actually just run some energy and like try your luck. Now, you saw my settings. I was very aggressive with my settings in terms of what type of gear I'm going to get. I do want to reiterate that rare gear, 6-star gear, can still be extremely good, both in terms of trying to land that double roll of speed, or 5-star epic and legendary gear equally can be very good. In fact, let me show you something here. If you're optimizer users, you can do something quite cool in the optimizer now, which we've added recently. In the artifacts tab, you can come in and look at your gear. So I could say, show me my speed gear. Maybe we do speed and divine speed for the sake of showing you this. Yeah, so I could say, show me my gear. But then also, something which Saf has added, which is cool, is I could say, show me the roll score. And what this is saying is, how good were your rolls compared to what they could have been? Every time you roll a piece of gear, there's a number of different values you could have rolled. So like speed gear, at the highest level, each roll could give you an additional 6 speed, okay? If I was to order in here by speed, it'll show my fastest stuff at the top. Obviously, it's going to show boots first. But once we get past the boots and we get on to shields and stuff, you'll see here, like I've had a triple speed roll here. Notice I don't have many, by the way. I've got like a few triple speed rolls on a 6-star piece, which was very close to maxing out 23 out of 24 in terms of what it could have been. Yeah, and I've also probably got some, let me see if I've got some 5-star stuff still in here. I probably have. So for 5-star stuff, you'll notice that I've still got a number of 5-star boots, whatever. But yeah, a 5-star shield here, which got a triple speed roll in a rare piece. I've still kept it, yeah? Also, you'll see on 6-star, I do have rare pieces which rolled well, and therefore I kept them. For example, this chest rolled well, 17 out of 18 potential speed. This shield rolled an 18 out of 18 potential speed. Yeah, so there are pieces in rare that you should keep. I just didn't for this exercise, okay? So there's a bunch of stuff you can do in here. Something else which you can do in here as well, whilst I'm in here actually, which is cool, is you can show the number of triple rolls that you've got or quad rolls that you've got. So if you get any Chaos Ore, you can actually look for specific, the specific pieces that might be worth rolling. So you might be looking at saying, okay, speed gear. I didn't roll the speed stuff that I wanted, but I did get a triple roll or something, and it might be that I can try and turn that into speed, for example. So a few things you can do in here. Anyway, let's get on to what I actually got. I want to make sure that everything which is new is still got a dot on it. Looks like it has. Cool. So just new. 2 days, 20,000 energy of farming dragon, selling off all the stuff which I didn't think I would need. This is what we've got. This is what we've got in speed gear. What's this? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 42, 45 pieces to look at in 20,000 energy in speed gear when it's on triple speed settings. We've got a few pieces of stalwart as well, and this is from other times. So what am I looking for? It's speed gear. Therefore, the most primary thing I'm looking for is a speed substat roll. Can't stress it enough. Speed substats is what it's all about here. If you're an earlier game player, then you still want speed substats, but you're also looking for good combinations, okay? And really what we're looking for is, and I guess it's the same for me as well, but my absolute focus is speed here. I want to match it up with some other nice stats. So if I was trying to put fast gear on a tanky champion, like a reviver, for example, I want to match speed with HP percent, defense percent, potentially resistance, maybe, potentially accuracy, maybe, depends on the champion. So you've got like a few other substats that you want together. If I want to match it with someone who's going to do damage, maybe this is like a 2-piece filler for my damage dealer to go alongside Savage Gear, then I want speed alongside crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. Yeah, so you kind of want groups of interesting stats together, but predominantly we want a lot of speed. I'm going to leave the mythicals until last. If I don't see speed at my level, I don't even roll the gear. Or I guess I could roll the gear if it was a piece that I wanted to try and Chaos Ore. Okay, on my account specifically, I somehow have not got anything more. I think anything more than a double roll in a 6-star helm. So helms would definitely be somewhere where I would potentially Chaos Ore. Okay, so let's go. What I do is I just ping it straight to level 8. Yeah, the way you should do this is literally just go level 4, level 8, whatever. I've got a lot of silver. I'm impatient, recording a video, and I'm just trying to ping them straight to level 8. If they do not double roll speed, then instantly they're being sold on anything other than a helm for me. For you, though, probably if they single roll speed out of a level 8 roll, you probably go again to see if you can get the double roll in speed, okay? Especially as so far, the other substats are not too sexy with what we're seeing. So I've double rolled that in crit rate. It's actually, I'm going to see if it goes triple roll because I might Chaos Ore it. It does. If this was already attack percent and crit damage, then potentially I'm just keeping it as it is. But that's a potential Chaos Ore candidate there. This is an interesting one. Look at this. Damage stats. So I still am looking for the speed. Really, though, if it doesn't go into speed, I want it to go into crit rate. And I'm going straight to level 12 because this is a good set of rolls. And this could end up being just that kind of like filler damage piece. Attack percent would have been nice here. Accuracy's not bad because plenty of damage dealers need speed as well. And that could end up being quite a nice like sub piece for, you know, like a Hydra build or something like that. So that's a keeper. Okay, all of the level 8 stuff is going to go because we know that all rolled badly. And let's move on to Helms. No speed, kind of bad substats. Remember, Helms for me are my Achilles heel. So if we get a triple roll, then I would have re-rolled it. Same thing again. Nothing much there. No speed. I don't know why my Helms just don't come back with any speed on it. What's going on? Spread across the board. No thanks. Not for me. For you, that might be fine, remember. For me, that's trash. See how quickly we get to the point where there's not a lot that I'm picking up that I'm keeping. But you could get very lucky. You know, you might roll 6 pieces and all 6 of them just roll nicely for you. Yeah, so that's the other sort of side of this, really. Nothing. One more here. We've actually got speed on this one. This is, as I spoke about roll quality earlier, this is as low a roll as we can get on a base speed roll. So even at the start, it's not looking good. I'm going to see if we get one more roll there. But even if it rolls well now, because it rolled, it was a bad first roll, then it rolled badly, and then the last piece was good. 16 speed is kind of potentially keepable with the HP and resistance. The stats do make a bit of sense. Defense percent here would be good just to kind of round it off. It's so borderline whether an account of my age and my level would still keep that. It's probably a no, but it's kind of more close just because it's a helm and I don't have good helms at all. So yet again, I come out the other end with no helms unless this mythical one is good. Praying to the Lord Jesus that it is. Shields, I've actually got a ton of triple rolls already. So if it hasn't got speed on it, it's gone. This one starts off as a low roll. See this? With okay other substats. Definitely all usable. Really, I'm looking for... Is that even possible now? It's rolled well into crit rate, or it's okay into crit rate. Okay into speed. Likelihood is this is a goner anyway. 17 speed though. If we get crit damage here, it'd be kind of good. Defense percent with HP percent. That's actually not a bad piece. Nothing there. Nothing. Again, starts low roll. Needs some sort of double roll into speed there to be interesting. This one started well with good other substats. Gone double accuracy. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, that could be great. Double accuracy. If you imagine 2 pieces of perception gear together will already give me more accuracy than this and more speed than this, just as their bonus, right? So although in an early game account or mid-game account, this could still be a great piece, don't get kind of like pulled into this type of rolling on a shield or something, because honestly, it's good, but it's not great, okay? Some people probably don't disagree with me there, but I wouldn't go all in on that shield. I think it's a bit of a bait piece. Double roll into defense. It's actually a good defensive piece. HP defense. Rolled. And again, like, the question is, as an off piece, does this do enough? It's a lot of defense there and it's rolled well. It's a lot of HP with some speed on it. Probably want something like accuracy here or resistance. Yeah, so that could end up being an okay kind of filler piece. But again, for tanky type of builds, you probably would be using stuff like Defiant gear or other gear that's just going to naturally build these type of stats, or Immortal gear. So you might still need it. It might still be a filler piece, but that's probably all it is. I think that is all of the shields done with a couple of questionable keepers. On to gloves then. So gloves, chests, boots. We're looking for a good main stat. Okay, I've got 2 mythicals. I'm going to save those till last. So for me, the majority of builds that I have across my whole account use crit damage gloves in an endgame account. For most players though, if you're trying to build a nuker, you're looking for maybe crit rate because you can't do crit damage yet. Pretty much the way it works is once you can get crit damage gloves and find enough crit rate everywhere else, like in substats on the rest of your gear, that's the move, okay? But until you can do that, the damage dealers, you're going to want crit rate as the main stat to get yourself at least to 100% crit. But in speed gear, like speed gear is not your damage gear primarily. So with speed gear, generally, you're looking for stats like HP percent, defense percent, stats which are built for support units. Generally, your fast champions are support, and they're going to be using things like accuracy with speed. They're going to be using just defensive stats with speed. So that gives you a feel for what we're after. Flat HP with nothing else. Now, you could, if you've just got tons of chaos ore, you could roll every piece up to 12. See if you get like a triple roll, and you can test, if you're a later game player, test the Ascension, and you're like, okay. And then you need to start using your imagination, and get extremely lucky if this would work. I don't really do this with speed gear. I would do it with lethal gear. I would do it with savage gear if I'm trying to find those like real amazing damage pieces. But with speed gear, I wouldn't really do it anymore. But I could then rework it with a chaos ore and hope for the double roll speed. Hope that the main stat becomes defense percent alongside the defense percent, additional roll. And then suddenly you've turned an absolute piece of trash into a godlike piece. So, it's a bit far-fetched, but honestly, that's what Chaos Ore is for. It's for the dreamer. Nothing going on here. HP percent, but no substats that would make any sense for HP percent. Flat HP. So this is an interesting one with speed gear. Again, for my level of account, I probably wouldn't use it anymore. Maybe I would. But if you're looking for fast gear, the main stat here is irrelevant. I'm just looking to see if I've rolled speed. So if you're newer into the game and you're trying to get a fast like speed freak for your arena, then you would still roll all of the flat pieces that have got speed on it and see if you can get lucky and maybe get a double roll. So it's still trash for me. But if that had triple rolled speed, then actually it might still be of some value for me. Attack percent with nothing else. Flat attack, no thanks. Flat defense, but no more HP, no more stats that make any sense. No speed, so that's a goner. Flat defense, same sort of trash. So for me, no gloves unless these mythicals are good to keep. Let's get on to the chests. Chests are very similar to the gloves, honestly. Really looking for HP percent, defense percent, attack percent, potentially accuracy. Although I would argue that, again, if you want someone to have high accuracy, you probably want accuracy on perception gear with speed substats. That's the dream. But for most players, if you get accuracy here with speed on it, then that could still be really valuable for your debuffer champions. Yeah, so it's still definitely could be worth. Resistance is not a bad main stat for a speed piece, because actually the more you get further into the game, the more you need resistance in your builds. And if I was going for a resistance build, I probably would want to see HP percent and defense percent down below. I still might just check to see what sort of speed rolls we get here. So if that had triple rolled speed, then that could still be interesting. And again, if I've got resistance here, I would want to check to see if I landed resistance here as an additional as well, if it was something I was going to keep. But for me, it's not looking good so far. Same sort of deal here with the HP with speed rolls. So do we just triple speed it? We double for a lot of people's accounts. So that's a low roll of a double roll. Yeah, it's rolled 5 twice. But for a lot of accounts, this is definitely a keeper. Not for mine, but for a lot of accounts, you will not sell that off. Okay, that one's okay. That one's got a lot of defensive stats on it, but no speed. This one could be one of those interesting ones that you'd roll to 12, look to see where it went. It actually has gone into HP and resistance. So if this ascends in HP or defense, it's interesting. I probably personally still wouldn't keep it, but it's way more interesting. Resistance, but with no speed on it. That one has got speed, and that one has got speed. Okay, so we've got a whole ton of resistance chests. Again, you'd rather get resistance chests in sets which boost resistance. Like, this is... I'm showing you this, but I probably wouldn't really be looking to keep these pieces. Really want to see at least a double roll in speed here. It's gone into HP, and it's low rolled across the board. Oh no, that's actually quite high rolling on HP. Let's see what this is. It's quite an interesting piece, honestly. So I could get another 20% HP here. So that's 38% HP, plus speed, plus defense. It probably is a keeper, honestly. I'd much rather, nowadays, this is how gear has changed so much in this game. I'd much rather see these type of stats on something like Stone Skin. Yeah, that's generally where my like high defensive units would go, or revivers would go. Try and get fast Stone Skin. So chances are I probably would never wear this, but I'm just showing you for I guess interest really, that this could end up being, because of Ascension now, it's gone from a mediocre to actually quite a high value piece for a lot of players. Just see if we double roll speed. It started off as a low roll, got one roll, so it's not enough. You can see out of 20,000 energy, there's not a lot which an account like mine would pick up. This is interesting, but again, it's so triple rolled it. It's in resistance, and it's rolled. It's a shame that's rolled attack percent there, honestly. But triple rolled, it's low rolled a couple of times. It's still quite fast though. 21 speed on a chest for resistance. I probably could end up using that in some situations. It's got a bit of accuracy on it, which is okay. HP percent as well. This could end up being like a bad L solo farmer type of piece down the road. So not terrible. Best one so far. First triple roll of this set, right? Okay, so not too many keepers. I've still got the mythicals to do. Boots, what we're looking for. Try and guess. We want speed, main stat. Okay, there is situations where defense, HP, attack are useful. Generally, if I'm going for attack percent boots, I want it in a set that's going to ignore defense, like Savage or Cruel, or something like crit damage set. So, but sometimes I still do use attack percent boots in speed, because it gives you that extra kind of like boost in certain situations. With something like this, if it's a defense percent, you might use it as a clan boss unit if you've not got an unkillable team, or if you're just trying to build a tanky build. But you want substats that make some sense alongside it, like HP, like still speed down here, accuracy, resistance, that type of stuff. So for me, that won't roll. HP percent, it's okay. HP percent could be like a damage dealing HP percent potentially, but yeah, not really for me. Not really for me. So nothing really good there. Again, boots are not a bad place to use Chaos Ore if you are really short on speed. Okay, but what I would definitely do first is roll it to 12, check the Ascension, and I would only Chaos Ore this if it says speed here. So if that said speed, I mean, as it is, it's an HP boot with HP percent here, with a bit of crit rate and accuracy. There's an argument to say that's now an 80% HP boot. It's actually quite good. It's not really in the set that I would want it in for a tank, but honestly, it's probably fairly keepable now, just through seeing what that Ascension was. You see how the Ascension can kind of change your mind on stuff. But we've got a bit more HP here now. And then this is, again, if I'm looking for the tankiest tank, I'd rather see defense percent somewhere. But more HP is actually not a bad roll. So again, I probably will not keep these boots, but they're definitely not bad boots. I just comment below, would you keep these boots for, if you're trying to build that tanky tank type of build? HP outscales defense in most situations when we're talking like arena builds and stuff like that. Okay, then, so on to the mythicals. No speed. I can't Chaos Ore a mythical piece. It doesn't exist in the game right now. And it's rolled resistance in the first place. I guess we could just do a little bit of check-in. Again, this is a bit like the perception stuff, right? Let's say I quad rolled into resistance. It would be interesting, but it's nowhere near as valuable as like a double roll into resistance in a resistance type of set. Because the other substats are not helping the resistance out here. It just ends up, I can't see a situation where I keep it, honestly. So it's going to be a goner. Okay, no speed on this piece again. Exactly the same situation. The other substats are a little bit more relevant, but still, I don't really see a situation where I keep this piece, especially if it rolls like that. So again, no helms from an event. Complete trash and complete trash. Oh, man. So what did I end up with? No speed rolls there. None there. Honestly, that's a goner. For my account, a double speed roll helm, a double speed roll shield, which is going to be a goner for my account, a defensive type of piece, it's going to be a goner for my account, could be a little bit interesting, triple roll, and a tanky type of boot, which honestly is going to be a goner for my account. 20,000 energy, 4 pieces of speed gear, one of which completely dubious whether it should be there or not. So probably really, if I'm being completely brutal, I've got one speed roll that I would keep, and it's in a resistance main stat, which is not the worst. And it rolled kind of badly. Good luck if you're doing the speed event. It does show you, though, that even though we've got very high odds of getting the speed gear that we want, doesn't mean we're going to end up getting huge upgrades on your account. If you're an earlier player, you will get tons of upgrades. But as soon as you get into that kind of late game cycle, getting nice pieces of gear becomes extremely difficult to do. Anyway, guys, I've been Hell Hades. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon.